So you can see there, look, just a crack. I mean, that could get bigger, that might not. I mean, I was looking at their returns policy, and obviously I didn't notice this when it was delivered, and obviously I've put this white weather seal in, and they've agreed to take it back. I've just got to wrap it up. They're going to get someone to pick it up. So, you know, what can you say about that? I mean, that is a great company. Thank you very much. Right, so that's the door wrapped up, ready for collection tomorrow. Super duper. What we're going to do now is put these door rubbers in, and there's one piece of trim that I've still got. I've got one piece missing, but I'm going to just stick some of that headline and stuff on, and I'll just show you where that goes right now. You can see here I've got this piece of trim. I haven't got it on the other one, for the other side, but I'm going to stick some of this felt on, and that might help hold that up. Oh, it definitely goes that way. Looks a bit low, maybe it came off anyway, but I haven't got two, I've only got this one. So we'll get some felt stuck on that and get that attached. Now what I've just done there is cut a piece of felt, because obviously I don't know where this bit goes, but just in case we do have to felt that, I have got enough felt left to do it. So we'll do this bit anyway. That'll tidy that bit up, and that'll be that. There we are. I'll just tuck this round to tidy it up, and that'll be done. Well, we've fitted that bit in, but look, there's an unfortunate thing. You're obviously not supposed to cut out that piece up there to get to them bolts. You're obviously supposed to leave that. So if you are doing a headliner, you have to leave that fabric just loose there. Well, I didn't know that, because it obviously looked like you're supposed to cut it out, but never mind. You'll have to lay a piece of loose fabric in there just to cover it up. Right, so we might as well have a go at fitting these rubbers ready for when the doors are done. Right, these door rubbers are from YRM, so they're just as good as what do you call it? I love the smell of new rubber. They're just as good as OEM, and we just hold them up first. And they've even, I noticed on a lot of see, they've all got that bit cut out. Right, yeah. So on the cheaper ones you cut that out and that always end up rusting. On the 90 you can see where that's rusted. So anyway, from what I've learnt about this, is you always start on the corners, and we might have to put a little bit of Dum Dum in there. Just tuck this corner in. Obviously the soft rubber to the outside, which should be obvious really. Fits very, very well. Oh yeah, this corner can be a little bit difficult, but it's not too bad. Make sure you don't fold it over. But we got it in. And that bit there don't like staying in either. This side will be a bit easier because that's just straight down. Oh no, we've got to go around a little bit of a corner here. Take your time on that bits when it fold round, just so you don't damage the rubber. Just got to sort of mould it in. Once that's moulded in place, that pushes in nice and tight. You know when you got it, because that goes all the way home. Look at this. It's fitted very perfectly. What I might do is this is prone to leaking here, as you probably know. Can't even get it out. See that? I'm going to put a little bit of Dum Dum in there. I've got a bit somewhere, or a little putty, butyl putty. I'm going to put that in there and then push that back up. And I might do the same just here. I thought there was a gap here somewhere. Oh yeah, gap up there. I might do the same with that one. Just put a bit of Dum Dum in there. I mean, water shouldn't get through, but there's a possibility. So I'll show you how to do that. If you remember the black butyl tape I had, this is what I had left over. So if I put a little bit of Dum Dum in there, in that gap, and a little in this gap here, and obviously we'll have to do that on both sides. What I've done there is just filled it up from the back, so when the rubber go on, that pushes it to the back, because water's going to come in from behind it anywhere else. Okay, and that bit was the same. I do see people hitting this with little mallets, but I don't really think there's any need to hit it with anything too seriously hard. I think your hand is good enough, to be honest. So there's a rubber in. There's them corners you got to watch about. It might be a good idea to give it a tap in the corners, but other than that, that's all on. It's looking good. So we'll carry on with the rest. You can also see at the back of this as well, we've got a hole there. So we could put a bit of Dum Dum in there as well. Be silly not to. And possibly just in the back of that, you know. You've got quite a big gap there, you could put a bit of Dum Dum in there. I mean, you shouldn't get any water in there, but if you put a bit in from this side, that will prevent it. So what I tried to do, to try and illustrate it better, is I've tried to put the Dum Dum in where you should put it. And that should obviously touch that seal at the back there. We put this one in, I just bring it this way, so it's get along the seal, what sealed thing. I mean, this is only when you're driving fast, you might get a blob of water through, it's very unlikely. Probably could do with a little in there as well, to be honest, but I did put some tape in there anyway. Should probably be alright here. But you could also put something in there if you wish. And I've done the same here. This is where that does tell you in the Landrover handbook to put it in. I mean, you could use a bit of that foam if we cut that out, really. And I've done the same there, look. Just push that in up to the bulkhead foam on either side, and when the rubber comes across, that'll just seal that up, and that'll be as good as new. Unfortunately, I had to start using some of that grey tape because I'd run out of the black, but just a little tiny bit there just shows you. And I've done the same there, look. Just squish that in there, and that should prevent any little drops of water getting in. Like I say, we probably could do with it up here as well. So I'm actually going to do it up here as well, because you won't see it once the rubber's in. I'm going to stuff some in there, and do that on the other side as well. Right, well, I've sealed them up. Unfortunately, like I said, that's the grey stuff and not the black. So maybe if you want something better, I've also filled them holes up at the back there. Stuff them in there. I mean, no water should get through there, but it's just a precaution. And that's what we've done on both sides now. And you can see there how well that, oh, there's a bit of a defect there, look. You can see how well that all go in. You can't see any of the putty what we put in. That's just nicely pulled up in them corners as well. That you just push them corners nicely, and that putty is in there. You can see a little bit there, but pity that wasn't black, and then that would have been alright. And I have missed these corner pieces out. I've got to just get them painted and fit them. So we'll get that done. Couple of rear doors, etched primered, and one little top coat ready for more top coat for finishing off. We did get a new fan bolt because the bolt's been on there for a long while. You see that on the tensioner, 15mm socket. Pull that off. actually retrieved this from the bottom. It don't actually look too bad, so I'll just keep it as a spare. But I thought it's best to change it now. Although that do look alright really. We've got a new Daykill one, which is supposed to be good. See, there's a lot of writing on this, so the writing's all faded on this one, so maybe that's worse than what we think. But we'll fit this. You can see where it goes over the top of the ones with the rib, and the underside on the ones that are smooth. Hence the reason why that probably soon wear off the writing. So I think on this one, yeah, you can just see the writing there, look. So maybe that's not that worn out. Don't know. Now that was hard work, so I got the tensioner back, put it on all these ribbed ones, and then slid it under the fan. That seemed to have been the easiest way to do it. So the last pulley is this fan. So it seems to be on nicely. I'm just going to go and have a look underneath, make sure all the ribs are in. I did notice there's one little rib off there, look. So maybe someone damaged it putting it on. But we'll just check underneath, check that the belt looks like that's on everything correctly, on all the pulleys. Maybe we can start it up and just check it. And you can see here as well, have a good look underneath, make sure that's all looking as though that should be there. Then you should have no problems when you start her up. I don't like the idea that the radio is on all the time. You can't turn it off. So we might have to change that, because that will obviously flatten the battery if you forget to do it. But I do need, because I'm going to put some trailer electrics in, I do need to take a couple of cables from down here for the 13 amp plug for the caravan, just in case I ever tow one. So we need 2 supplies from this fuse board. So I'm just going to see if we can get a permanent and switch fuse from there. And I really want to change the radio, because I think there's a couple maybe around the wrong way on that. So we're going to take this wire out what someone's put in, which is a permanent feed from down there, which we don't need. This one's already permanent, and this one is the actual radio. This is the actual radio fuse, which is on the end there. This orange one, what I just put in. So we're going to join that one up to here, and the radio should work correctly then. And we can use this permanent feed to take to our trailer connections later on this week. Now the radio comes on with the ignition. That's how it should come on. Perfect. So we'll fix that. We can use this, we need a main supply for the battery on a caravan, and we need another main supply which I can get from down on these fuses down here, you see. So that's quite good really. So we sorted that one out. Permanent feed fuse there, what was used for the radio, is actually for a heated screen, which I might put in one day. So I think for the caravan electrics we might have to buy some little fuse holders and put some inline fuses in under the seat. What we might have to do is come off one of these screws here and then put a little fuse box in here. But we also need an ignition feed for the caravan, and all the ignition fuses are on one side, so we'll maybe be able to piggyback off one of those. But we'll come to that when we do the trailer electrics. Right, well, got the rubbers in. S&P panels have done us proud, and a little bit of electrics on the radio. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching.